This entire track you're hearing came from just one Eurorack module. No drums, no synths, just this little beast, the Basimilus Iteritas Alia by Noise Engineering, and let me show you how I did it. Now, the BIA is technically a digital drum synth, but it's insanely flexible. It can do kicks, snares, hats, even bass lines and weird melodic textures. So for today's challenge, it's simple. Make a complete techno track using nothing but this module as our sole and only sound source. The only slight caveat or asterisk on this challenge is that I am going to be using the Endorphin.es Ghost for effects, but that's just for shaping and space, and the same way that you use reverb or delay or compression in a DAW like Ableton when you arrange and you finalize a track. All the raw sounds still come from this one module. So just to briefly talk about audio and routing and workflow, so as many of you know, my live performance is Digitakt 2 for drums, Octatrack is my main effects unit, and then my modular system for melodic content, for melodic leads and melodies, and sometimes percussive little grooves. So I am routing currently the audio from the modular straight into the Digitakt. So we're going to be sampling whatever sounds we get from the BIA into the Digitakt, and that's where we're going to be sequencing and putting together our groove in our track. And this is actually my first time ever doing a track like this or using some sort of resampling workflow. So hopefully it works out and we can get creative and come up with something good. All right, so getting started, we need our kicks because in techno music, as we all know, the kick is our lifeline. So I'm just going to start my Octatrack, and now the modular is running. I see a 4 on the floor trig here from Pam's. I'm going to put that into the BIA, and then I will take the output of that and go into channel 2. So while I still have the kick patched up here, I want to create a rumble bass using reverb and delay. So for this, I have a sidechain input into the Ghost, and let's bring in some delay. So many different ways we can go about it, but I think I like, well, let's just try to find a nice groove here. There it is. A little bit of reverb, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to mess with the pre-delay to kind of get a different groove. Let's unfreeze this. And there you go. There is your rumble bass. So let's go ahead and sample that into the Digitakt. And this is what our kick and rumble bass sound like together. All right, so what I think I want to do next is to get some higher frequencies in here. So maybe let's get some sort of hi-hats going. And for that, I would like to take the trigger of the BIA and let's use the gate output of the Metropolis just so we can, instead of sampling a one-shot, maybe we can do that because I do like to use around 2 to 3 different types of hats in my grooves. So maybe we can do a couple rhythms within the Eurorack and then maybe sample some one-shots and then do some different type of sequencing techniques for the Elektron Digitakt. So let's see what we can get here in terms of some higher end frequencies. Already this sequence from the Metropolis I feel like can work. So this is with some delay and reverb. Let's just sample it in dry for now, and then we'll deal with the delay and reverb in the Elektron Digitakt. So this is what our hat is sounding like right now. Cool, so I want to take the same sample of the hi-hat and sample it down to maybe a one-shot, and then we can put 16th notes in the Digitakt and try to sequence it that way for another layer that's going to give the groove a little bit more drive. And now I want to do the open hat. So I think what I'm going to do is rearrange the exact same sample slightly differently just to get some different timbral changes. So you can definitely tell that it's the up hat. Yeah, there we go. That's what I want. So let's sample this, and this is going to be our open hat on the upbeat. Cool. All right, so I think we kind of filled in our higher end frequencies enough so now that we can start getting into the more fun stuff like the bass line, some effects, some atmospheric hits, and things like that. I think this is the bass line that we're gonna end up with. I really like this. So this is what our groove is sounding like so far. Awesome. All right, so let's do some effects or some atmospheric one-shots here. A nice little effect, a nice little one-shot. And the beauty about this is we can just play this all by hand, make it feel humanized, make it feel much less robotic. It's not going to be linear, exponential automation lines. It's going to be a more human feel to it. So we're just gonna go crazy. We're gonna sample this in and just play this weird growling atmospheric effect here. Oh, we could totally use that for something else as well. So I think the last thing that we're really missing here in order to complete this groove is some sort of lead. So let's see what we can come up with. And what I like to do is kind of mangle around with the Metropolix, mess with different skips. Now I think this is more of the realm that I would be making a track in. A little bit darker on the grittier side, but you still have so much harmonic content there. Oh yeah, I think we're in that ballpark now. And we're gonna listen to it with our groove for the first time. And just like that, you have a lead line. Modulate here, but we're not going to get that deep today. I just wanted to get to this point so where we have a groove and we have a lead line that we can perform with. And I think we accomplished that today. So guys, if you learned anything at all today, if you were inspired to make any type of music today, I would really appreciate it if you drop a thumbs up. It really helps out the channel. It helps it get discovered and help push the content out to other audiences. I really appreciate you hanging out today. And remember, my friends, keep patching, keep playing, keep pushing. Peace.